Hello, everybody. This is Miss Nancy from the Clearview Library District, and I am here to show you the instructions for your February family make and take crafts. Okay, so we have 3 crafts in the kit for you, and we hope you have a really good time with these. We did family make and take craft kits in October, November, and December. They were kind of centered around the holidays. And so then I decided we needed to do one for February because who doesn't need a love bug? And so we won't have them every month, but we will have them for special months. So kind of keep your eyes on the calendar in case we do one for spring maybe, or maybe the 4th of July, okay, or maybe back to school. I don't know for sure, but just keep your eyes on the calendar because we will have them every now and then, but not every month, okay? Now, in your kit today, I'm going to move the bugs away and move the other stuff away. You, first of all, before we go into the kit, you need scissors and glue, and I have some tape that I'm going to use. You may not use tape, but you might, okay? So we are going to go through the contents of the kit and put the stuff in 3 piles because we have 3 kits. So this is for a heart dot craft, and it's going to look something like this when you get finished. But I want you to always remember that the goal is not to make it look just like mine, but to make it look just like yours. So if you do it a little different, that's okay. Okay, so for that craft, we have a piece of paper. We have a piece of gray paper that's kind of heavier. Oh, this is kind of funny. A pencil. What do you think we need the pencil for? And let's see. Oh. Here's some pink paint. Hopefully you got some of that. And there's red paint. Okay? Now, if you have paint at your house and you want to add other colors, you can. You could add purple if you wanted to stay with the, Valentine theme, but you could use other colors if you wanted to. Okay? This is also a fun craft to do with other shapes. So after we do it once, you'll kind of know what to do. Okay, for our second craft, which is the love bug, you are going to find this pack of stuff. And in it, you're going to find some loose yarn. You're going to find some love bug hair. You're going to find a pipe cleaner. And then somewhere in the bag, in the kit, you're going to find 4 little hearts. Let's see if I can find them all. They get stuck in the bottom sometimes, so make sure you really look hard. Found something else. Some little beads. Don't let them roll away, okay? Oh, I found some more beads, I think. I found an eyeball. Oh, you're going to need 2 of those. Okay? And the beads. Well, we might have a one-eyed love bug if I don't find that other one, but I know if I look hard enough, I'm going to find it. I found another bead. A little pearl. Don't let those roll away. Okay, I'm going to guess that those other things are going to show up when I keep going, so I'm just going to keep going. And you're going to need a little cup for this one. Okay, now you're going to need 2 Tootsie Roll Pops for this craft. And this is a love flower, okay? And it's around a lollipop, okay? So there's two lollipops in here. And a whole bunch of pieces of paper. Some slightly bigger ones and some slightly smaller ones. Now, when I find all these guys, I'm going to hand this bag to Miss Shannon, because she's sitting right here, and she's going to help find that last eyeball. Look, found one of the hearts for our love bug. And more little pieces of paper, and another little piece of paper. Guess what, Miss Shannon? I found it. Yes! Okay, let's see. Oh, green pipe cleaners. Those are going to be for the flowers. There's 2 toothpicks. Those are for the flowers. Found another little heart. It's going to go with our love bug. Another pipe cleaner. And another eyeball. There we go. For the love bug. And one more toothpick. Okay. That ought to be enough toothpicks for us to be able to punch plenty of holes. I'm going to set my kit aside. And we'll talk about this real quick because I love, love, love seeing pictures of you. So adults in the house, snap a pic and send it to me or post it on social media so we can show people what fun we have at the library. Okay, so make sure you take a picture and send that to me. Okay, let's see. What should we do first? I'm going to save the love bug for last, because it's like maybe my favorite craft so far this year. So let's do the painting dot one, okay? Won't fly away there, beads. So we're going to do this one, okay? We're going to take the silver piece of paper and fold it in half, okay? Now kids, if you need an adult to help you with this, they would be glad to do that. If you have a pencil and you want to, you can draw a heart shape on it. It'll only be a half of a heart shape. I'm not going to draw mine. I'm just going to cut, okay? But then you're going to cut half of a heart with the fold in the middle of the heart. And then, there's the half of it. Then when you open it up, you have a whole heart, okay? Get rid of that guy. But you know what? If you wanted to on another piece of paper, you could do the same thing with the opposite part. Okay? You'll know what I mean when I do this, okay? So take your heart, try to make it nice and flat. And I'm going to make some nice little loose pieces of tape. And I'm going to stick 3 of them on here. Now, I do want to warn you that we are taking a little bit of a chance by using tape that we might pull a little bit of the paper out of the center of the heart. And that's okay if you do, because it's really hard to do this if you don't tape the heart down. You might have a mess, okay? So I have tape on the back, and I'm just going to put that heart somewhere on my piece of paper, okay? I kind of stuck it sideways a little bit, kind of stuck it toward the middle, okay? Now, I pressed it down, but not real hard. Okay? Now, you probably never thought about the fact that you were going to use this pencil to paint with. But pencil erasers make the most perfect dots. So we're going to open up our red paint. Okay? And we're going to open up our pink paint and set them there. Make sure that the adults in your house got you a good place to work on paint, because we know we don't like to get it all over the house. Okay? Just got it all over my hands, but that's okay. And then you're just going to dip and dot. Now, one thing you want to make sure of is that you make a row of dots all the way around the heart, because that's going to make this outline that makes the heart look like a heart. Okay? So your dots are going to be heaviest there. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of pink hearts first, pink dots. And I'm finding that I can touch it 3 or 4 times once I put paint on it before I run out of paint. Okay? That helps, because then you don't have to keep dipping every minute. Okay? So I want to put enough paint on that we get that edge, whoops, before I start with my red. Okay? So I'm going to add some more pink around the edge, and I'll hold this up and show it to you in just a second. Okay. Now, probably I have enough paint around the edges because I'm only using the pink. When I use the red, I will have enough. But if you want to cover, which your kids are going to want to do this, the entire white part of the page with dots, you can do that. Okay, I'm not going to take the time to do that because you'd have to sit and watch me make a million dots. Okay, so I'm just going to put a few more pink ones on, dots. And some of them have lots of paint, and some of them have some paint, you know. Okay, so I have a pretty good number of pink. Miss Shannon, do you think I have enough?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Miss Shannon makes these kits, and she always makes the samples, and she loves making your samples. She always comes to work, and she's so happy because she enjoys making your samples. Okay, then I'm going to take it, and I don't even really need to wipe it off, and I'm going to do some red dots, okay? Dot, 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 dot. And I'm going to make sure with the red that I go all the way around the edges, anywhere that I didn't get pink, so that we get a good line. But then I want to have some dots in other places too. So see how I've started with my red? Okay. And I'll go around here. And I'm just kind of adding a red dot anywhere that there's still a white edge around my silver heart. Okay. Now, you might find, Miss Shannon told me it happened to her, that when you peel off that silver heart, you might have a little bit of paint that worked its way under that edge. And you know, that's okay too. That's how we know that these crafts and these pieces of art were made by a human and not a robot. Because humans don't do things that are perfect very often. And that's part of what makes our work so incredibly cool. Okay? So don't worry about perfection. We're just having fun making dots. Okay? I love making dots. When I go to paint and sip things or paint on canvas, I love dots. So I could keep doing this forever, but I'm not going to because you probably would like to move on to the next craft. So I am not going to put any more dots in because I want you to see what this looks like, but please feel free to spend all the time you want and just cover it with dots. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could tape this down in the middle of your paper, another piece of paper maybe, because you have lots of paint. And you could do the inside with dots. And that would be another cool picture. Or you could do something like this, like on a Valentine card. That would be super fun. You could cut different sizes of hearts and do it on cards. So this is really a fun thing to do. Yes, now I'm going to let that dry. So I will peel off the silver heart in a little bit when we're done with the next craft, okay? Now, if you want to make it dry quicker, you can do this. But I'm not going to do that, okay? Because I want to do the next craft with you. Okay, so I'm going to put my paint away. Okay, I'll set it aside. And then we're going to make our lollipop flower. Now, this one's really fun, too. So first of all, get all your big pieces of paper. And I've already folded one in half. And again, you're going to cut those hearts out of the paper with the fold in the middle. Okay? And you can cut a whole bunch of them. Now, if you want to on your painting, you can use these, or you could use one or two of these on your dot painting to add more hearts. But that's not what we're using them for. We're using them for our lollipop. Okay? Gonna fold them all and cut real quick. And remember, hearts don't have to be perfect either. Our hearts are shaped several different ways. None of our hearts are just alike. Mine's different than yours, but they all do the same thing, don't they? Okay, lots of hearts. Now, I want some pink ones and some red ones because I'm really going to mix it up. And you can put as many hearts as you want to on your lollipops, but you have enough stuff to make 2, okay? So I'm going to use 5 big hearts on my lollipop, and I'm going to use 5 little hearts on my lollipop, okay? And you have enough to make 2, so if you really want to, you could keep 1 for you and give 1 to a Valentine, okay? Okay, so I'm going to use some little pieces now. And again, you're just going to fold them in half, fold on this side, and cut them like a heart. Now, remember, you or the adult at your house can draw those hearts if you want them to. Okay? You decide that, okay? Okay. Let's see, I have 5 big hearts. I'm going to do 5 little hearts. And mine are all mixed up colors, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, 2. Fold it in half. Hold the fold, cut around. 3. 4. I like all the colors Miss Shannon used. We have a lot of pretty pinks and reds, don't we? 4. And one more. This is number 5. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm going to put all the rest of my pieces aside because I'm not going to make 2 of these in front of you, but you have enough to make 2. So I'm going to set one of my lollipops aside, some of those papers, and one of my chenille stems because you don't need to watch me do 2 of them. Take a toothpick and somewhere near the point, make a hole. Can you see the hole I made in that? Okay, I made it kind of big. I kind of moved it around once I got there so that the hole got just a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to go kind of fast. This is another one of those jobs that if you need help from your adult, make sure you ask them because they will help you with this. Now, I just turned my toothpick to the other point, the other side, because it was getting kind of dull. And that's why we gave you 3, is so that you have enough sharp toothpicks to be able to do all of your hearts. And I'm near the tip on all of them, like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. I have one more heart. Okay. Whoops. Don't let him get away from you. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big hearts and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little hearts. And I have a lollipop. And I'm going to push the stem up a little bit if I can. You probably can. Mine went up pretty good because I like those little hearts to go pretty high up. And I am going to start with little hearts. And I'm just going to thread them on here. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? And I'm going to let them kind of move around a little bit. And I'm switching colors a little bit, but you know, it doesn't matter too much. That's 4. And here's one more. Number 5 of the little hearts. Okay? And then I'm going to look at them and I'm going to make sure they're moved around so that I have all these pretty little flower petals. Okay? Now, you can add glue anytime you would like because that is going to help everything stay in place. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue right around the stick of our lollipop. Okay? That wasn't that hard to say, was it? Now remember, my glue is going to dry clear, so it doesn't matter if I make a little bit of a mess because you know how much I like glue. Okay? And then, you know, I think I'm going to put a little bit more glue right now. Just around here. That might help it stay in place. I don't know. And I'm going to put my big petals, hearts on. And again, I'm going to switch colors. But you don't have to. You can do them however you want as far as a pattern. That one doesn't want to go on. Okay. There we go. Okay. That's why we wiggle the toothpick around a little bit so that the holes get big enough. Now, if you have some more paper at home or if you have extra pieces, You can make more hearts. You can put more on than I'm making. But I think 5 works pretty well. Okay? Now, what do you think of my flower? I'm going to move them around a little bit. That's pretty cute, isn't it? Okay? Now, the last thing you're going to do, hold the lollipop upside down, put some glue right here. That's going to help everything stay in place too. And I might put a little dot or two here and there just to hold all these petals in place. I'm going to take my chenille stem, and I'm probably going to get glue all over me. And that's okay if I do. But I'm going to curve it a little bit, and I'm going to twist the chenille stem around the stick of the lollipop. Look at how cute that is. Can you see how I'm doing it? And it's really going on flat and nice too. Okay? And I kind of want to use it all up. So I'm going to almost stop near the end and then curve it around. And then I am going to put a little dot of glue at the end. Because remember, again, your glue is going to dry clear. Okay? And then if you want to, you can fold your little petals, your little hearts up around a little bit more, if you want. And you have a beautiful flower to give to your Valentine. Okay? Uh-huh. Katie's asking us about our Pause for Reading program. If you haven't done Pause for Reading, look on the calendar and sign up. We have a giant, beautiful Pause for Reading doc. Okay, so you have that done. Now, we're going to do the love bug. Now, Shannon and I decided that this love bug was absolutely the cutest thing that we have ever made. Now, it's a teeny bit difficult, so you might want to watch the instructions a couple times. Remember that it's really good if you watch all the way through, but don't feel like you have to try to keep up with me and make it while I'm talking, because you can turn the YouTube video on again and watch again and again until you get it, okay? Take off the pipe cleaner, straighten it out a little, but actually you don't really have to because it's going to be all silly anyway. You are going to start with this wad, this mess of yarn. And there's a piece hanging that has 2 ends. And I'm just going to take a hold of it and pull it out from under the tape. Okay? And then you can take your tape off now if you want to. I like to get my fingers into it before I take the tape off, just in case. Because if this lets go and you drop it, you're going to have to rewind 150 times around this cardboard in the middle. Okay? So, I didn't get quite all the tape off, but most of it. There we go. So I have my fingers in the middle, and I'm going to take this piece of yarn that I took off, and I'm going to fold it in half. Okay? And I'm going to put it under there. Okay? Now, you have to make sure you get it to come out the other side. And sometimes that's hard, but I got it. There. So I have the 2 pieces sticking up, and I am going to tie the tightest knot I can get. And I'm actually going to borrow Miss Shannon's finger. I don't know if you can see that in the bottom, but she's pressing it in the center. And this is another place where your adults would come in really handy, is maybe they could tie and you could put your finger in there. But either way, I have 2 pieces that are holding my whole pom-pom. That's actually what we're making, is a giant pom-pom. Take the cardboard out. I still have my finger in there, and that's kind of a good idea. Okay? And you're going to take your scissors, and you're going to cut like this. And you're just keeping it opposite because you want your sides to be as long as they can be. You're going to make sure you cut all those pieces of yarn. Now, make sure you, whoops, see, there's one. You see it? Right there. I need to cut that one. Okay, and I have a really long one. I'm going to cut it off. You know, if there's some that are just ridiculously long, look, there's some more. So just kind of comb it with your fingers and make sure you get all the little pieces out. hopefully you can find where you've knotted your pom-pom together, but if you can't, it's okay. Okay, because Miss Shannon told me that she glued hers on and it worked really good. I tied mine on. That worked good, but it was a little bit hard. Now you can see that your pom-pom goes two directions right now. And I'm going to hold it out and I'm going to look and say, are there any really long pieces? But there really aren't too many, are there? Let's do the other side. Oh, I have a little chunk of long ones right there I'm going to cut off. Okay. Now, this is definitely one place where you do not need to be perfect. Because if you look at our love bugs, they have crazy hair. And I think crazy hair love bugs are what they're supposed to look like. So do not worry about it too much. Now, we have this little cup, and I'm going to put it back here so you can see. And I am going to put a lot of glue on the top of this cup. Now, you know what a lot of glue means to me, right? It's like a lot of glue. And I'm going to go all around it. And it's going to have a lot of glue on it and some in the middle. Okay. Now, you want to see how much glue I put on? Look at all that glue. And I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to set it right in the middle. And I want about even pieces going the other way. And then I'm going to put this the opposite direction like that. And I'm just going to press it down. Now, as I'm pressing it down, you can see that my love bug is getting its hair just really well done here. Okay? And we have this pipe cleaner that is going to make my bugs antennas. And I'm going to fold them up. Okay? And while this is drying, and I want to be real careful I don't pull on them because I want them to stay glued, I might put a bead. Now, Miss Nancy doesn't have her glasses on, so we'll see if she can do this. If your beads are too little, just put them aside because it doesn't matter. But they're kind of fun. And we found that these little pearls, if you have them, are super cute, but some of the pipe cleaners, they don't fit very well. Oh, I think I got it. I did. I did it. Okay? And then I'm going to put a red bead on. Just because, but you can do it any way you want. And then on this one, ooh, I have a really cool red bead. It kind of looks like a red diamond. Putting it on, and then I'm going to put a white one on. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my little antennas around a little bit. Adults, if you want to help them do it like around, wrap it around a pencil, that works really good too. But I'm just going to do mine kind of funky and weird and kind of sort of around. Okay, there. Now, do those look like love bug antennas to you? I think they look great. And I'm going to take my little hearts and I'm going to put a heart on the end of each bug antenna. And then I'm going to take another heart. This is hard, guys. I had a really hard time on my example. Very carefully, I'm going to lay the other heart exactly on the back so that the heart, whoa, stay there, love bug. See how that heart, there's one on each side. Okay? Going to do the same thing with the other one. And I put a heart on the pipe cleaner. They're kind of sticking to me. They're going to stick to you too. Put one on the back as close to perfect as you can get it. There. Okay? So, I have a love bug here. And it has crazy hair. Okay? And it has antennas with some beads and some foam. But what else do we have? You're right. The hair. This little packet of yarn is the hair. Now, you're going to have to try to get the tape off. And it's not exactly easy. So if you need help, ask for help. And pull that tape off. There we go. Okay. And you are going to take your piece of cardboard the other direction, the short direction, and wrap it around. See how I'm doing that? And it wraps about 50 times. Isn't that right? 50 about? Okay. So I'm going to go round and round. And when I get near the end, I'm going to cut off a piece because remember, that's how we made the pom-pom for the body of our love bug. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to stick my finger underneath. There we go. Now, Miss Shannon said that she used a ruler or a pencil, and that helped her get the yarn underneath against the cardboard. So you might need that. I found my finger works, but it might not, you know. So now I have threaded that underneath, right in the middle. And again, I'm going to tie a knot. Remember that I have that yarn doubled. And Miss Shannon's going to stick her finger right there. And I'm going to hopefully tie a knot under her fingertip. There we go. Okay. And that has a knot in it now. And I'm going to cut off these pieces a little bit. And then I'm going to bend my cardboard a little bit. And I'm going to slide the hair right off the cardboard. Okay? Keep my finger in the middle and cut just like you did the other one. Now look at that. I got all of it in one, maybe. There we go. Now, does this look like love bug hair? It does. It's so much fun. I'm going to put a big blob of glue right in the center of my love bug's head. And then I'm going to put this crazy hair right on top. And after it dries, you can make the hair even crazier if you want to. I think on mine, I actually cut her some bangs because I wanted her hair to be shorter around her eyes. Some of you might have different kinds of yarn, but it all makes crazy hair. Okay? So how does that love bug look now? Okay, what else do we need to do to be finished? Eyeballs. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around so I can see it, and I'm going to push its hair a little bit out of the way for when I put the eyeballs on. Make sure you're letting it dry too, okay? And then I'm going to get the two eyeballs, and I'm going to put a big blob of glue on it. So there's one, and I'm going to put an eyeball. Now, if you want your love bug to only have one eye in the middle, you could do that. Or if you have more eyes at home and you want your love bug to have 8 eyes like a spider, you could do that too. But my love bug is going to have 2 eyeballs. Okay? Now, what do you think of that love bug? Okay, so I'm going to put my love bug down, and I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to kind of push everything together, make sure the eyes are drying, and I'm going to leave it alone for a little while before I do anything with it. Okay? Now, I want to tell you to have a really fun Valentine's Day. Miss Shannon just reminded me. It's a good thing she's here, huh? We want to peel this off, don't we? And it feels maybe the tiniest bit wet still, but not really. Look, it's magic, isn't it? Okay? And even after I pulled this off, I could still add more dots around the outside if I wanted to. Okay? Okay, thank you, Shannon, because I almost forgot that. Okay, now I want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day, and I want to remind you that your library loves you very much, and have a really good time. Thank you. Bye-bye.